Iliya was playing football on the streets of Mariupol with his two friends. Seconds later, the 16-year-old was dead. In an image that broke hearts around the world, the teenager's father Serhii wept at the sight of his son's corpse draped in a blood-stained sheet after he was hit by an explosive. As he cradled his blond-haired boy, he sobbed uncontrollably in the shelled and bullet-ridden hospital. "My little son," he cried. It is just the latest in a series of shocking images to emerge from the bloody war zone in Ukraine, where Vladimir Putin's savage invasion has cost the lives of hundreds of innocent civilians. Iliya was struck while playing on a football pitch near their school in the Azov Sea city on Wednesday. His friends Avid and Artyom were found with their legs riddled with shrapnel and now face the prospect of amputations. The trio were rushed to the nearest hospital in the back of the car, but Iliya was pronounced dead on arrival. The surgeons leaving the operating room struggled to make eye contact with Serhii after the tragedy. One held up his hands while the other looked down defeated as the father waiting at the doorway started to wail before dropping to the floor. Evgeny Malolivka, the Associated Press photographer who took the tragic image, told The Telegraph, the car pulled to the hospital. They opened the back and there were two teenagers. One had his legs riddled with bullets, looking like raw meat. Iliya, he was already dead. Artyom sat behind him. He was conscious. They were rushed to an ICU. Iliya was dead on arrival. They just left him there. He added, Artyom and David had their legs riddled by bullets. This is a typical injury we see here. People with those injuries get their legs amputated. I'm not sure what's going to happen to them. The hospital they were taken to was shelled by a Grad multi-rocket system. Nearby houses were shelled. People in that hospital often had to be laid on the floor. And under a barrage of shell fire which has destroyed properties and cut off power and water supplies. Its seizure would allow Russian-backed separatist forces in eastern Ukraine to join forces with soldiers in Crimea, the peninsula forcibly annexed by Russia in 2014. Mariupol's Mayor Vadim Boychenko today described the attack on his city as a full-scale genocide of the Ukrainian people. Without power lines, medics standing to the wounded were unclear as to where to take them. It comes as Russian troops have seized Europe's largest nuclear power plant after a firefight that set part of the complex ablaze. President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Putin of resorting to nuclear terror and risking a catastrophe 6 times worse than Chernobyl that would affect the whole continent. Russian troops attacked the Zaporizhzhia plant in the early hours of Friday, with CCTV capturing a fierce gun battle between Putin's men and Ukrainian defenders. It sparked a fire in a 6-story training building just outside the main complex. Moscow's men then stopped firefighters getting to the building for several hours as fighting raged. Eventually, emergency crews were allowed to go in and douse the flames before Russian troops moved in and occupied the site, which provides a fifth of Ukraine's electricity. The UN's nuclear monitoring agency said that, fortunately, none of the site's 6 reactors had been directly damaged and radiation levels remain normal.